What's up, everybody, and welcome to a new Dive in Life. It's been a while, and I had to reinstall my whole OBS today. I think everything's working. If something's not working, please let us know in the chat, because on the other side I have Mr. Drew Dapps. Welcome, my friend.
Yo, what's happening with it? Thank you for having me on. It's a huge honor, bro, for real. So
Yeah,
appreciate you,
of
fam. Good
course.
looks.
It took us a while to get there, but we're here, you know.
We
so
made it happen.
that's good. We got some peeps watching as well. Villa UK, thanks for tuning in. We're live on the YouTube, on the Facebook, on the Twitch, and feel free to leave your message. For now, I just see YouTube comments, so I'm not sure if you're on Twitch. Let us know so I can see if it works because I just reinstalled everything today. I'm in my new house, my new studio, so I'm building it at the moment, which is really nice. It took me a while before I got my own place again. How about you, Drew? Where are
Hey.
you? You're from San Diego, right?
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations on the new stew. That's what's up, bro. Are you you're still in the Netherlands, right? Like which part are you?
No, I'm in Spain. I'm in Valencia.
Oh,
Yeah.
word.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So
Well,
I
big
moved.
ups, fam.
I
Oh, that's exciting.
took my business online and thought, like, you know what? I'm gonna move to the sun, which is really nice. Yeah,
Word, word.
yeah.
But yeah, thanks for asking, bro. I'm based in San Diego, California at the moment. I've been out here for a few years, and when I moved out here, that's when I got started on the house music journey, you know what I'm saying? But I'm from Las Vegas originally, and that's where I got my start in production coming up in Vegas. I started out with like hip hop beats and stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, just been going hard here in San Diego, and it's been good to me, so I'm happy to call it home.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I read it also. Like you only started in 2019, right? With music production, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I started cooking up beats before then,
Mm-hmm.
probably about 5, 6 years total. I had my feet dipped in, you feel me?
Yeah, yeah.
But in 2019, that's when I started working on house and kind of did like a whole rebrand, revamp my sound, and started putting out house music and
Yeah,
started
yeah,
learning how
yeah.
to DJ and all that stuff.
And what was like was there a particular record that made you like, oh, holy shit, I gotta make this stuff?
Nah, dead ass. There for sure was. I feel like when I first kind of stepped out into the scene, like went to the club, like I had just turned 21. That's like drinking age out here. So that's when I was able to step out to the club and see what's up.
Yeah.
And I went to a place here called Spin Nightclub. And that was like the first time I ever heard like underground house.
Mm.
Before, like I pretty much only knew commercial stuff. But like
Yeah.
when I stepped out there, that's when I heard minimal deep tech type beats for the first time, and I was just in hooked from there, bro. And
Oh.
from that point on, like I went on Beatport and started digging and stuff. But I feel like one of the first records I ever heard that like really got me hyped on the sound and got me feeling like, yo, I need to make something like this was probably Corey O'Connor's EP called High Fashion on PIV or
Mm-hmm.
PIV.
Yeah.
Like such a dope record, and I love how he had like 7 songs on there. Like I feel like that's pretty rare for an EP, but like
Yeah.
each
More
one
like
of
an
them was
album.
quality,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it just like really got me inspired. And I still love DJing some of those tunes to this day, and like I still listen to that record. Like keeps me inspired, and especially because it's called high fashion. Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like all my music gotta be hitting the mark of high fashion. Like you could
Yeah. Yeah.
play my stuff at a runway show and it would fit the vibe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a good
Cool.
question. Appreciate
Cool.
that.
Yeah, of course. It's always good to know where it's from. We got Mr. Pinkovic online. What's up, man? One of my students. There's more students online. Here's
What's
Sarps
happening, fam?
here. Nice. We got Judah film. Drew's the goat. What's up with
Good
this?
looks, bro.
That's an inside
Appreciate the
joke.
love.
Yeah. Hey, and talking about fashion, you also have. So I was like, of course, checking out what you were doing, and because you're a friend of Womack, he was in my show, and I thought, you know what, let's get all these guys in there. And I saw you. You are great on the fucking skateboard, man. You That's
Thanks, fam.
yeah, it's nice to see. You can do kick flips and what you jump on all kinds of stuff.
Cake flip, shove it, you name
Yeah.
it.
And you
But
also
yeah,
have
bro. What's
like
up?
you also have like you have a bag and you sell clothes. It's like a whole brand you have running like your own like sort of yeah, like skate wear.
Thank
Right.
you,
Yeah.
bro. I never really thought of it that way, but I think that's kind of what I'm doing subconsciously because I grew up skating. Like one of my earliest memories was literally like skating to my first day of school with my big brother. So
Ah,
like
cool.
something that's always been within me is like the desire to go skate. And
Yeah.
I feel like when I moved out here to SD, like my love for skating kind of got revamped because we got some crazy nice skate parks here. But
Yeah. Yeah.
like at the same time, like I always been into fashion even before music. Like
Hmm.
when I was in high school, your boy was the vice president of the fashion club. So like I'm in it, bro.
Yeah,
And I've
yeah,
always like
yeah.
had a love for clothing and styling and that type of stuff and design too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I guess in a way I am making my own sort of skatewear brand because
Yeah.
that's the thing, bro. Like making merch is dope. Like it's cool for artists to have their own merch, but I'm trying to get my line to be more than just like a walking billboard for my music brand. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
want it to be someone that something that people can feel fresh when they
Mm.
rocking it. And you know what I'm saying? Like when you got the tote bag on, you feel fresh. And
Yeah.
when you see these hats come in, bro, you're gonna feel fresh when you got that on, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
So appreciate you peeping game.
Yeah, yeah, of course, man. You know, why not? I saw what is he doing, and you're an interesting character, man. Making your flips as well as your bags, and you also try to use the social media in a very creative way. I think that's yeah, it's a bit of the new game for for the artists that are making music and want to get more out there. They just have to make interesting videos nowadays on Instagram, and you do that pretty well. I really like the way you go about. Yeah.
That's love, fam. But you're not wrong at all. And I feel like I'm grateful for my experience coming up as a hip hop producer because it's kind of like a different game in the sense of branding and the way the artists promote themselves. So like
Mm.
I'm really grateful that I was exposed to that game and see how these cats be working and how they promote their music and like you said, promoting your own brand really. And I try to apply that sauce to like the house music world because I feel like electronic music can be a little lacking in that out there branding. You feel me? So that's what I'm trying to
Yeah.
bring to the
Yeah,
space.
there's a
So
lot of
thank you
purists
again for
out there.
noticing.
Yeah, but it's cool. Yeah, I like, it's just it's interesting how you design your life and to do what you like, and I think that's really important for people to follow their heart and their dreams. And yeah, just not give too much about what people think. There might be purists out there who think like, why you're doing all these videos and branding. Some people don't even have social media because they're so pure in their approach, which is fine, really, But there's just it's nice to see something different, and I really enjoy your videos when you're playing somewhere, you're on the skateboard somewhere like Catch Me
Good
Tonight,
looks, man.
bro, fam,
Well,
fam.
I mean, my
It's interesting.
philosophy is like,
Yeah,
bro, I'm trying to bring minimal to the masses. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because the sound is so fire. Like, it's hard not to love it, but I feel like it's very slept on, especially here in the States. So,
Mhm.
like, I'm just doing what I can to make sure that people know minimal house is the truth, bro. You feel me?
Yeah, it's getting bigger at the moment. Let me turn on this. I'll call you back. It's getting bigger at the moment. Like also, like I went to Burning Man, and I went also to Burning Man in 2019, and I noticed there was more sort of like minimal music being played there as well, because it's normally a more like progressive, organic house kind of music, and here and there, Carl Cox is playing something, but it's I saw more minimal stuff being played there, and I actually played together with James McKeegan. Do you know him?
Oh, yeah, that's the boy. I know him very well. That's
Yeah,
what's up.
yeah, I did a remix for him on Moyostro because Kevin Trinada is one of my students. He followed a few private lessons with me, and he was good friends with James. So they asked me to do like a remix, and I went to Burning Man and said, "Oh, we got to meet up." So we met up. We did like an hour, or like 2 hours back to back together, which was really funky, and it's nice. So then they also do like parties like LA and San Diego. So it's like the whole West
Yeah.
Coast. It's there. There's definitely a scene growing there, I think.
Nah, for sure, bro. I'm super hyped. You got to link with James and the crew and even got to play with them, man. You got some
Yeah.
West Coast love for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
it's really
feel the
nice.
same way. Like it's definitely growing and catching on because like, bro, I just got one of the biggest bookings of my entire life. There's a festival out here called Wonderfront, and it's like pretty mainstream commercial type music. Like they
Mhm.
got Gwen Stefani, like Sway Lee,
Oh wow.
like
Yeah.
Kings of Leon, like that type of stuff, like some radio hits.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was
Hey,
like, damn, they're really trying to bring your boy out, play some minimal groovers on the Seaport stage. All right, say less.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that made me feel like we're really onto something here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, cool. So it's growing, it's growing, it's growing. That's super nice. Nice to hear. Hey, Andrew is online. Love from Ireland. Yeah, cool.
What's good, fam?
Hey, Rochelle
Thanks for
is online.
tapping in.
That's a long time ago. We got James Chang. We got loads of people. So nice. Let's play some of your music. I forgot to write down which ones is number one. I don't know. I think track one was the edit you did of Pony, right? With this
Let's go,
fancy
baby.
fancy picture. Let's put it on and we'll be right back. Classic record. The man, I think I was 15 when that original was popping, you know.
Damn, that's crazy, bro. I wasn't even born yet when
Yeah.
that joint came out.
Yeah, just before we started, because I just moved, so for the first time since years, I got my vinyls in the living room, you know, with all my vinyls there, with the turntables, and I put like records on, like very random today. Every time I was in like my living room, it's the same as a kitchen, so I was cooking food. It's like, oh yeah, let's put on this old school Brian Zens. Have you ever heard of Brian Zens? It's Primate Recordings.
I'm not hip.
It's an old school techno record, and I checked the label. It's like 1999. I was like, holy moly! I have it for like 23 years, dude. I'm getting old. I remember there was this place called Midtown Records in Amsterdam where we would buy records. Me and a friend, we go home and we'd play the whole day with these records. And one of these was 23 years ago, man. And this Pony, I think it's even longer. That must have been 96, 97.
Yeah,
I was
96.
I was still high school and stuff. Pooh. Crazy
That's
shit.
fire, bro.
You know, but music keeps you young, and I'm looking forward to see some of your projects. I understood you had like you asked some people like, hey, what projects should we do? Because I see you release a lot of music. You don't target really the big labels. You do have Woyostro on there, which is, you know, a label with quite a big reach. The rest I'm not so familiar with because I browsed to all of your tracks. It's a lot, and it's pretty good, man. I'm really intrigued by how much music there is. Have you ever thought of targeting bigger labels, or have you tried, or how?
Yeah, man. Thanks for seeing what's up with discography, bro. I appreciate that. I was hyped, bro. I just realized I released over 100 songs the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, oh damn, okay, we out here. And you don't really notice until like you see like 99 tracks, and I'm like, oh shit, okay.
You did a lot,
But
man. Yeah.
I mean, my philosophy when it comes to labels is, bro, as long as the cover art's fire and they can bring some dope remixers on, like I'm not really tripping about how big it is. Because,
Yeah,
bro, the
yeah.
thing is, like, I can get my releases popping on my own, bro. Like,
Yeah,
like, yeah, of course, the labels help with the promo, like getting it in the hands of big DJs, but like, I got some connects with homies that are out here doing it, so like I can slide it to them personally. But as far as like getting it popping on Spotify and Beatport and all that, like I feel like the Camp Dappington community is strong. And at the end of the day, bro, like a layman, like they don't know what the label is. Like they don't care, bro. They really don't know about that.
yeah.
So
As
I
long
feel
as
like as long
yeah,
as you get it out there, they're gonna hear it.
yeah,
And as long as the cover art is fire, then they're gonna be interested in it, bro. Because I definitely send my stuff to bigger labels and a lot of times don't get an answer, and
yeah.
that's not gonna deter me from getting it out into the world because
No,
if
yeah.
my shit be slapping, people need to hear it.
Yeah, yeah,
Facts.
that's a quote, man, right there. Nice. It's good because I think it's very important also just to release stuff and not be depending on how the system works. So like, oh, these labels are the biggest. You need to be on these labels. I think there's a lot of opportunity to create for yourself without needing any big platforms or whatnot, and just create it yourself. Respect and big ups for this, my friend, that you do it like
Big
this.
ups.
So
Appreciate it, homie.
show me some fire because you work in Fruity Loops, and I'm curious to how you work. If you make 99 tracks, that's I think a lot of people are like, wow, that how do you do like 99 tracks in only a few years, and doing some flips in between, on the skate park. So, where do you
Hey,
find it? Is this like your living? You live from your branding, and or do you have a job?
yeah, bro, this is what I do. Like, I do a lot of stuff to make ends meet, but like, I'm lucky enough to have it be like based around my creativity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So like, I make
yeah,
my own schedule,
nice.
and we make it happen on our own. So it's cool. Like, I'm grateful for the opportunities that come my way, and just like living in the modern day, like where you say you don't have to be relying on a big label or whatever to get put on. Like, you can put yourself on these days. So
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you got the hustle and determination, you can do whatever
Anything.
you
Yeah,
want, bro.
exactly.
Facts.
Exactly. Yes. All right. You can start sharing your screen and let's get into some nitty gritty. And
All
it's
right,
nice to see that you're just doing what you love. That's what people do have to do.
mad love, homie. But yeah. Let me share my screen right quick.
Is it
We'll
possible
get
to get Drew on
into
an EP on a label? If so, does he have a fee? Nice.
a fee to release on a label.
Yeah, maybe a
Shoot,
remix fee.
I
Hey,
mean, you're gonna have to talk to my manager
hey,
about that. You
Upco's
dig me?
checking. Hello, Upco. We just started, so good to have you looking in. Thanks for peeping.
Yeah,
That's how I say it, right?
yeah.
Thanks for peeping in.
Yeah, thanks for peeping, bro.
Nice.
Appreciate you tapping in. Much love to the fam that showed out one time. No matter what time zone it is for you, I appreciate you.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah,
I like the
one
slang,
track.
man. I really
What's
need
that,
to get.
bro?
I like the slang. I need to get into the San Diego slang. It's nice.
I'll put you onto the Dapps glossary after, bro. I'll send you the ebook,
Yeah, cool. Is there an ebook? That would be great, actually. An ebook with
all the
slang.
translations.
Yeah, that would be nice, man. All right.
Uh,
So, which ones are we gonna check out? I have a few faves after today, but yeah, you
yeah, I
can.
got a few picked out, like a few requests. I try to pick the ones that got requested the most when I put out the feelers, what the homies trying to hear on the stream. You know what I'm saying? But one that was requested was this remix I did. It dropped
Daptionary.
earlier in the year.
Yeah.
It's a remix for Cosmin Harashu. He's the cat who's like making some dope tracks out in Europe. And the label Tech Avenue reached out for like a more minimal take on the track because it was more of like a tech housey track. But I thought that was cool. I thought it'd be interesting to dive into my workflow when it comes to remixes and
Hmm.
just show them how it's done. You feel me? So
Yeah, man.
yeah, we could just like run through a little bit of it and then
Yeah,
I'll
cool.
break it down. Sound good?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can just go for it. I'll watch the chat. Hey, and I have one question because I'm always like coming in with these questions. I see Electron, Machine Drum, SPS1, MK2. Is these samples you got from? They're sampled from the Electron.
Yes, bro.
Nice. I have an
That's
MK1 here. It's laying on the ground though because my rack's still coming. But
fire.
it's a nice. Yeah, it's all 12-bit. Or maybe this is the MK1. Yeah, I think the MK2 was also like 12-bit, so it's like nice and gritty beats or glitchy stuff, which is nice.
No, for sure. That's what I love about it. It's like it's really got that minimal house sauce. And don't get me wrong, like I didn't sample it from a real machine like you. Like I never had the machine. I came up on this pack from the homie DeMarzo in
Yeah,
his course.
yeah.
That's how I came up on this. But I really love that sound pack because, like you said, it's like gritty and nitty.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
definitely
it's
got like
nice.
that
Yeah,
minimal house sauce to
yeah,
it. You
yeah,
know what I'm
man.
saying?
I
So
will never sell it. Yeah, and also, like just above, there's like the Drew Dapps master sample. I saw on your website you're selling some a chord pack, and there was a sample pack. So everybody watching, check out. It's just drewdapps.com, no?
yes, sir.
Website. Yeah,
DrewDaps.com. And
yeah,
you can get the sample packs there. I got some more coming, but we just got a couple for now. I really like the core, the sample pack, got a little bit of everything. And I really use elements from my own packs in every track I make just to kind of keep it a cohesive sound. And also, like, just it honestly helps my workflow because I
yeah.
know like what I did was fire in the first place. So I'll use it again. You feel me? And I feel like that's kind of like the best testament that I can give to the sample pack is if I'm using it in my own slappers. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah, cool. Yeah, yeah, I have made some sample packs, but I've used a few loops of there from there, but I usually make new ones from the ones that I make, so that's how it works.
Yeah,
Cool.
bro. It's cool to like collab with yourself in a
Yeah,
sense. You know
collab
what I'm
with
saying?
yourself, like do a collab. You could do like
Yeah,
featuring Camille featuring Camille is gonna be my next my next
there we
tune.
go, bro. But yeah, man, it's while we're talking about sample packs, I feel like one of the most beneficial things that you can do for your workflow is make a sort of master sample library. So that's what I got here. And these are all joints taken from every pack that I've downloaded it, whether it be like from other artists or like labels, sound packs. And what I did is I narrowed them all down and organized them into one giant master sample library. I mean, it's not perfect. Like I have some new joints that I've yet to organized
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like you see here, like you notice the electron, but like my ultimate goal is like to get it all sampled, narrowed down into this pack here. So
yeah, yeah,
you kind of really hone in on your own signature sound when you delete the stuff that you don't like and you only save the stuff that you really love from all these packs, because it can get overwhelming when you got like a shit ton of packs like that are all organized different ways,
yeah.
and it can get like a bit confusing at times. So I can't recommend making yourself a master sample library with sounds that
It's a
only
good
you
shout.
love and you know that you're
Yeah,
gonna use. And you know what they say, bro? Creativity loves limitation. So if you
yeah.
can kind of limit yourself when it comes to the samples, like that's gonna help you
Yeah.
out. It's gonna help you to become more prolific.
Yeah, it's a good tip, man. I also did that once. I made like a whole pack with like where I put grooves, top loops, kicks. I put everything in folders, like from all kinds of packs into one. All my shakers, but the best shakers from all the packs into a shaker folder. It really helped me a lot, making a lot of tunes. It's nice. And now I'm structuring per year, so everything I get. So I make samples 2022. So all the samples I get in that year, I sort of like keep in that year folder, which is also pretty like you can have a good overview of what you have, because it's something, trust me, after 25 years of making music you get shitloads of samples. Like I've got one folder where all the crap is, and it's like, I don't even know where everything is anymore. There's so much in there, like from all these years. But this is a good thing, man. Good tip. Thanks for sharing. Actually,
Yeah,
we got some peeps online. Sarge Malone is saying amazing producer. We're waiting for this. Dinfluence, thanks for watching, man. Great, glad you're here. Julian is here. Is this Julian Fama? It's Julian AR, or is it AR? I don't know if who's this.
oh, that's yeah, homie from Argentina. I think that's what AR means.
AR, yeah, Argentina. It could be. Yeah.
But shout out Sarge Malone, my boy been making slappers. Definitely go mess with Sarge Malone, man. He one of my favorite producers off top. So big ups, homie. Appreciate you tapping in. That's love. But yeah, man, we could dive into this joint right quick if it's time.
Yeah, man. You can start whenever you want. I'll be having some water here. Rochelle knows Midtown. Yeah. Let us know how the volume is. Is it good? Should be good.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the gist of the track right there. You
Nice
get
one.
a feel for it.
Nice and
Good
dubby.
looks.
I like the dubby chords and it's like a whole dubby vibes, like a little it walks. You know, it's nice. Cool. Well done.
That's exactly what I like to hear. It walks. Like I love it when you listen to a track and it make you feel like you walking down the street feeling all swaggy. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to achieve
Yes.
that feeling
That's a
with
nice
each of my
vibe.
tunes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
good
it's
looks,
nice.
famo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hyped that this one was requested because like I want to break down my process on remixes a little bit, kind of show you a efficient way to do it. But pretty much like one thing I would advise for remixes is using a different kick than the one that's provided in the stems because you know the kick is like the loudest main element of a house track. So I feel like if you can switch that up, like that's gonna give your remix a really different sound than the original op tops. You know what I'm saying? So I picked out a kick that I like. I think this one is from the Electron actually. if I'm not mistaken.
Cool. Nice.
But and just in general, I always like to make the pattern something that's different than just the typical four on the floor, like something different than just the you know what I'm saying? Because every house track gonna have that four on the floor. Of course, that's essential, but you know, you gotta sauce it up a little bit. You dig me? Like, and that's why I got these little extra hits. And you can do that in a nice way if you variate the velocity of these extra hits, you know what I'm saying? So you can peep these joints right here. The velocity is lower than the rest of them. So that's kind of what's gonna give it that sexy sort of groove, bro. And in all of my tracks, I don't know if y'all peep game, but every one of my files is called Daptek with a number. So every project I make is called Daptek, like 81, 82, 83. And I did that like as soon as I feel like I discovered my sound. I actually released a track called Daptek, which was one of my best performing songs ever. Like it's like one of
Nice.
my most streamed songs, even though like it's
Creating your own
uh
genre here.
yeah, low key, bro. Like that's why I had to call it Daptek. And after that one got so much love, I'm like, all right, every track I make from now on is a Daptek. And there's a Daptek template. So literally every song I produce from scratch is all set up like this. Like I don't really have any MIDI loaded up, but like all the clips are ready to go pretty much. So you don't waste time like typing out like chord stab 1, chord stab 2, and it's all color coded. You dig me? So all like the rhythmic elements are this like seafoam kind of color. And sometimes I'll be lazy and don't, don't label it all, don't color it at all. But I feel like having this color code system is like a good way to stay organized. And when
Definitely.
I got the template set up, so everything is already color coded, like the MIDI clips are already created. I just gotta fill them in, bro. And I kind of have like a different sort of what do you call it? The way that it's sequenced, you feel me, up here at the top, like I got add clap, add open
Yeah, yeah,
hat,
yeah, yeah.
that type of stuff. And a good way to do that is to drag in a reference track. And like ain't no shame in using reference track, bro. For real.
Yeah,
That's
it
like
can
a good
help a
way
lot,
to
right?
kind of
Yeah.
find the arrangement if you listen closely, and having that like close listening skills is very important to being a producer. So I feel like if you can drag in a reference track and you see what works, you hear what works, and then you can kind of plot it down here on this top part by right clicking, add marker, and say like
Hey, we have this in
add the
Ableton
sexy
too.
clap. You feel me? We're gonna add the sexy
Yeah,
clap
yeah,
at bar
yeah.
16. But
Hey, and
this is a good way to do it. Of
can I ask you a question?
course.
Do you sometimes also say like, fuck it, I'm just gonna start like a project totally empty, and I'm just gonna make something out of the what I never do. Do you ever do that as well? Like, do you ever get fed up with your
Uh
template?
Nah, bro. Like every time I make a song, it starts from the Daptek template. And like, don't get me wrong, the playlist is empty. Like, there's no MIDI clips in there, but like, I have weird perk ready to go, ready to fill in. So I just
Yeah,
drag it
yeah,
in
yeah,
there. And
yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
like, I feel like that's helped me save so much time. Same
Yeah,
thing with making this master sample pack, but like having these blank MIDI clips ready to go. Like, I'll fill in my clap,
yeah,
fill in the ride. I mean, some tracks you might not even use a ride, but I got all the MIDI clips ready to go, and I
yeah,
got
yeah,
all
yeah, yeah, yeah.
these channels on the left here ready to go too. Like I got the kick, and I just kind of listen closely to these tracks that I fuck with heavy and see what makes them pop. You know what I'm saying? Like what makes them special. And like I noticed, all right, they got a kick, but not only that, but they got an extra kick, like a kind of like a backup kick.
Yeah,
And just so I never forget about that sauce ever again,
yeah,
I got a preloaded channel in here, so I remember to have an
yeah.
extra
Even though
kick.
you don't use it all the time, you just have it
Yeah,
already ready.
exactly.
Yeah,
It's there. Like, and I'll remember to use a
yeah,
backup textured clap and like another extra clap groove. You feel me? Like I got all these things laid out on the side, so I'll never forget. And just a tip for the fruity homies, if you're using FL Studio, let me put you on some game real quick, bro. On every one of my tracks, I got this going too. The fruity notebook, bro. Do not sleep on the fruity notebook. Like here on the first page, like I just wrote some go-to socks, something that I know like is always going to sound good if I ever need to refer to this.
Yeah.
But I also use these other pages specific to the track that I'm working on. Like if I have some ideas, like before I wrap up a session, I'll like jot down what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Type it all out right
Yeah,
here
have
so I
a
don't forget
concept
for
or
next
so.
time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if there's something like that in Ableton,
I don't.
but
Yeah, we can make notes, but it's a bit like hidden. You know, you can make notes in the info view, but you know, this notebook is really really handy. I
no,
actually have
it's cool.
I actually have a trick list. So I made a whole list of everything I've used over the years. I started making this when I was 25 or so. So I have a whole list of tricks that I could do, like reverse a hi-hat, reverse a clap, or parallel compression, or use this as parallel distortion, or start with some, like, it's inspiration ideas, arrangement ideas, mixing ideas, and you got all these different tricks. I categorized them in different mixing tricks, arranging tricks, creative tricks, and if you do that, you will not forget what you know, because now you know what you know, but maybe in the future you don't know what you knew. So it's good
Exactly.
to help your future self, who will be thankful, to have like a little note somewhere, like, hey, remember to do this, and it might spark your creativity one day. I really like that.
Exactly, bro. And
Yeah,
I love that fruity notebook because it's all in the die. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, it's
one
nice.
thing that's really helped my productivity and my overall prolificness as an artist is like when I'm in the studio, like I make sure that joint is full screen and there's literally nothing distracting me. Like I don't have no message notifications. I got that disabled. Like I got everything that could pop up on my screen disabled.
Yeah,
And like I'll set a timer. Specifically, I use something called the Pomo timer, which is like Pomodoro timer. It's like some
yeah,
ancient Italian sauce or something, but they made an
yeah. I've
app
heard
for
of
it.
it.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
set that for like 1 hour at a time. And I'm just in the studio. My phone's in the other room. I don't have no notifications
yeah,
distracting me. Like
yeah,
no emails, nothing. Just like full screen, bro. I can't recommend that enough. Just make sure you put in your time like full screen, no distractions, and I swear like that's gonna help elevate your productivity and like get you in the zone. And when you're really like focused on your craft, I feel like that's when the muses are gonna reward you with some good ideas. You know what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a good tip, man. It's like I was listening to this interview. There's this Dutch podcast. Shout out to Bucky. These guys do podcasts with like artists, mostly Dutch artists, but also sometimes like international artists. And they had Reinier Zonneveld, and he's like a big techno artist in Holland, and he well, in the world actually by now, but he said, like, also, I leave my phone away, and if I have an idea, I just go for it, and I'll be unreachable, which is unhandy sometimes for people around me. But he's in the studio, and he needs to finish the idea before he can leave. And I think that's a really good strategy. Just grab the idea when it's there for you in the moment, because if you leave it and you want to get back to it later, or you get distracted by something, it's not going to be as well captured as you could have been if you were more focused. So it's good to leave your phone out. Yeah, I need to do that more, making mental notes for myself, leave my phone out the
Word
studio.
up, word up.
Cool,
Yeah, that's
thanks,
a
man.
good
good
point, man.
good tips.
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure,
oh,
man.
here,
And
Steve Heat says, I think there's Max for Life device for keeping notes. Of course there's a Max for Life device. I should have known there's always a Max for Life device for something, in life. That's a good shout, Steve. If you find it, drop a link here in the chat. Will be cool. And I'm definitely going to have a look at that maybe now, because I always like to change stuff to the track. And I did make some notes, but in Ableton, when you want to make notes in the info view, it has to be on the info view of the top channel. So you always have to use the same spot, and it's not as handy. But if there would be like a cool plugin that I can put in my template, that would be really nice. Like have a separate channel where there's like notes. That's nice, because now I make notes in my notes of my Mac. But then, for some reason, I don't check that all the time, because it's in a whole different environment. If it's in the DAW, it's there right there, and then you always have it there. It's nice. I should write it down. Let me grab my stuff.
yeah, do your thing, King.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Let's get deeper. So, what do you how's this track like with the chords? I really like the stabs. Do you have any specific reverbs or so that you use, or and do you use the call and response a lot, because it sounds like really nicely call and responded, as Mr. Pinkovic
Hey,
also said.
good looks, bro. Nah, music is all about call and response, man. I feel like the smartest thing I ever said was if you want to be a great producer, all you got to do is let the sounds talk to each other.
Yeah.
And that's like really the best way I can put it, man, because you got to leave space for everything. Like let everything do its thing. And like you said, bro, that's all music is. It's like there's a question and then there's an answer.
Yeah, it's a
But yeah, for
dialogue.
this track in particular, like I was definitely like feeling the call and response vibe.
Yeah.
And I really was stoked on like the sound pack that the original producer Cosmin sent through. It had like some dope stabs that like I was happy to work with. Like I'll let you hear like the chords on their own specifically. But you can see like I got some automation here too on the chords. And
Red Shack reverb.
yeah, I know you asked about this specific reverb. Which, bro, I really can't recommend Rat Shack Reverb enough, bro. Like, I'm not big on getting third-party plugins. Like, I really believe that you can sauce up a track with all in-house plugins. Like, you don't need all that fancy shit, bro, for real. But I definitely love Rat Shack Reverb, and it's an affordable one as well. But like, I've used that joint like in all of my tracks pretty much. It's like this wacky looking plugin. It looks like
Oh,
it's sitting on the table. I
cool.
don't think this is what it
Oh, it's
looks like
audio
anymore
damage. Yeah.
if you were to go buy it, but I really love this joint. It reminds me of like old school reggae music. You know what I'm saying? Like that real
Yeah, yeah,
dubby
yeah,
sound,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Sublime or something like that. Like some from Jamaica, bro, because it sounds like dusty, but it just has like a really authentic feel to it.
Yeah.
And I love that joint, bro. And not only can you use that for like delays on a chord, like I'll show you what's good with this one.
Yeah.
Like you can kind of hear like it sound like it got that dusty vintage flavor to it, you know what I'm saying? But one thing that I really like about Rat Shack Reverb is you can automate the delay or you can automate any parameter on there. But I found it's very dope to make some build up effects. Like peep this joint right here. I use this creating uh like a delay automation and just bounce it out with Edison. That's the recording feature in FL.
Yeah.
So shout out to Edison. But this is what I made right here. This kind of riser effect.
Oh, it's like a time that I heard that in the break. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I really love that sound. And like I try to put a effect like that in every track, like a homemade effect, you know what I'm saying? Not something just from a sample pack, but it comes from elements within the track. So it sounds like it fits in there naturally, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And how you would do that is just kind of like automate the delay or one of these elements to make it sound like it's increasing in pitch and it sounds like a riser, you know what I'm saying? Like something I heard when it comes to minimal, like it's not all about the white noise risers like it is in tech house, like not all about this epic snare roll builds. Like you got to use some joints like this, like a delay automation effect. Like that sounds sexy and minimal and like mysterious, you know what I'm saying? But that white noise riser shit, like that's too obvious. Same with
Yeah.
the
Yeah, you want to have something
snare
less
rolls.
predictable, you know. You can, you know, I used to use a lot of white noise back in the day, and at some point you're like, yeah, you know, at some point it's it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's the white noise guy again, you
Yeah,
know. So
like,
you
and
you
don't
don't
get me
want to be
wrong,
you
it's
don't
still
want to be the
effective.
guy. No,
Like there's still a place for it in house.
of course.
Don't get me wrong. Like I still use white noise up tops. It's essential.
It also
But
depends on which sound you're in. You know, if you're more into the tech house, what you said, you know, then it's
exactly,
you
bro.
gotta need.
But I really messed with that Rat Shack tip right there, bro. Like that's a great way to create some transition effects. But yeah, man, and the rest of the chords are cool.
I'm just getting it
I
back.
got them just like kind of playing off of each other. I got them like repeating back and forth. I'll play a little snippet. Bring y'all to the second drop over here so you can peep the riser in action. But yeah, aside from that, like with the chords, what you're saying as far as like the call and response type shit, I really try to like automate everything. And you can see here, like I got a different little automation clip for every
Each
other
step.
chord. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
going back and forth, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
different
And that's
filters.
one way.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
that?
Different filters, different delays, maybe here and there, so not every hit's the same.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and it's kind of like call, response. But like really how you're gonna achieve that sexy minimal house feel is like automating filters, man. That's like really how you get that shit, bro. That's what it comes down to. Cause like yeah, it works if it's just a plain chord, but when you automate the filters, then that's when you get really like intricate into like the sound, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what
Yes.
makes it sound mysterious and makes it sound sexy.
It's the same like the intro track I played for this episode, the Understand It track. We're actually running a remix contest for my next release on Foundations in Ireland, and I did exactly the same thing. Just every step is just slightly different. Maybe I make like 4/64 bars or 64 beats, and then your brain cannot get used to it. It always feels different, which is I think very like life. It needs to be a bit very it needs to vary a bit, otherwise your life's boring. And that's
Exactly.
horrible. Hey, let's see. Pinkovic says, you inspired me to re-download FL to play around with Harmor again. What's Harmor?
Yo,
I don't know what
shout out to
Harmor.
you, bro.
And
Shout out to the Fruity Gang and the Fruity Curious Gang.
the
We out here.
fruity
But
curious.
you dig me.
uh,
But bro, Harmer, I really don't know nothing about that to be honest. I don't think I've ever used that joint. Probably because you have to pay for it, or it's just I opened it up once and it was too overwhelming and never opened it again. Like
yeah,
I feel like I really got my sense down, like as far as what I know. But I might have to mess around with Harmer
it's
one time,
always
bro. I
cool to
honestly
dive
forgot
in.
about that joint.
Yeah. Well, and also, Dinfluence has a question. By the way, he found the essential notepad for Ableton Live. It's like $10, not free. Motherfuckers.
That's worth it. It's worth it.
It's worth it, man. To get some good notes, I'll pay $10, guys. Let's see. Do you use swing and quantize on your drums?
Oh yeah, that's a good question, bro. So in FL Studio, they got this really handy knob right here. It's called the main swing knob. So you can see like up in the top left corner, the main swing is set at 22%. And on my Daptek template, like starting off from every track, I have it set out about here. But every track I try to switch it up a little bit, either turn it up a little bit or turn it down a little bit. So it's just like not exactly the same. You feel me?
Yeah,
But the main swing knob is very handy. Like I've seen cats producing in Ableton, they gotta mess with these groove files or whatever that is. I don't
yeah,
know
the groove
nothing
box.
about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
sorry for you guys, to be honest. But
Yeah,
no, but
some people like to manually swing. They're manual swingers.
yeah. But
I used to be a manual swinger. Then I took the groove box on for a while, but I'm now back to manual swinging because I feel I have better control over the groove. But it's there's always ways to roam, and there might be one way, and there might be another way, and it's all I think all fine. Groove box can be pretty nice
yeah.
though for some stuff. But this main swing guy is also handy because whenever I connect my push to Ableton, then you also have a main swing guy, which is handy. Then the swing button from push becomes the main swing guy, which is handy because you don't have that. Well, maybe people can let me know, but as far as I know, when I don't have push controlled, I don't have this main swing guy, which is interesting.
I
But
feel it, bro.
but
And something else
yeah,
I'll do to help out with the swing, there's a real handy knob that like really elevated my productions as soon as I discovered it. It's called the shift knob, and basically that shifts it a little tiny bit
oh, nice.
to
It's
the
like an
right.
extra
So it
little
adds a
swing
little bit
guy.
of latency, you know what I'm saying? And when the main swing isn't enough, like I'll take individual elements and adjust this shift knob so it hits a little later and it gives it more of that jacking sound. Like particularly I'll mess with this for snares because you don't want your snares to sound robotic. They gotta sound jazzy and smooth. And a good way to achieve that is hitting the shift knob with a little love. You dig me?
Yeah.
So definitely a good tool right there. The main swing will like take care of the project as a whole, but as far as individual sounds, like this shift knob is not to be slept on, bro. It definitely
Yeah.
is a great tool in the toolbox.
Nice. Nice. Hey, thanks for sharing. By the way, Nolan says Josh Butler did a good overview of Red Shack in his FM future music track breakdown. Nice plugin to play with. I know Josh
Bro,
is a big dub lover. If you want to check out another one, check out Dub Station. That's Dub Station. That's a great like delay as well. I think it's free. I'm not sure if it's free actually, but check it out. I have it for many many years, and it's also like a really like so cool time delay. You know, you get those cool delays. I love that stuff. Nice.
oh yeah, that's actually where I found out about the Rat Shack Reaver. Now that I'm thinking about it, I was watching a Josh Butler tutorial, and then I saw that joint, and
There
it
you go. It's always
changed
good
my
to watch a
life.
Just Butler tutorial. Shout out to Just Butler, my friend.
Yeah,
He's
shout
all
out
the way.
Nolan. Thank you for tapping in, famo. Big appreciate you.
He's all the
Mad
way
love.
in New Zealand, I think. Now I saw his on his Instagram. He's traveling the world as he always does. Isn't he? Nice. Have you been to New Zealand?
Nah, I haven't yet, bro. But you know, I've seen some crazy video, bro. Somebody was slapping my music on a yacht in the Cook Islands.
Oh
And bro,
wow.
I didn't even know what the Cook Islands was. I had to go on Google right quick, see what's up with the Cook
Where is
Islands,
this? Yeah,
man.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
blew me away. I was like,
It's
all right,
beautiful
we
there,
on the
man.
right path, bro.
Yeah,
We just
yeah, you
gotta
know.
keep going.
Yeah, yeah. I once got to
Um,
send a video from Lindsay Lohan dancing on a yacht on one of the remixes I did years ago. It's like cracked me up.
bro,
It's funny. It's nice. It's
that's
always nice,
legendary.
you know. You feel like a bit like, oh look, like somebody going crazy on my tracks, like on the other side of the world, which is great. Still want to
Yeah,
go to the south, man. To like to the side. I don't know. For me, it's whatever to the other side of the planet. So yeah, cool. All
for real,
right. So
bro.
this was sort of track one. Let's play one of your tracks. Have a little break. I'm gonna get some water and get some. I want to have some chocolate. I think we're gonna have a little bit of chocolate, guys.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
gonna
go
play.
crazy, bro. Get
Uh,
the chocolate out.
I'm gonna get the chocolate out, and we're gonna do. I think this track is gonna be Elevator. I think Blind Date's number 3. So we're gonna go Elevator.
Always touching me and telling me how sexy I am. And I am sexy. Oh, I'm still eating chocolate. Nice
I
track.
was
This is Elevator on Sumani, right?
Yes, sir. It just came out on a new EP. EP is called Copacetic, but Elevator, you know, that one gets some love. And I especially have strong feelings for that joint because, you know, sometimes people have referred to my music as elevator music. And you know what? Like, I ain't mad at that. Like, they're not wrong, bro. Like, because when you go to the W Hotel in the elevator, they got some fire minimal house playing. So I ain't even mad about that.
Dude,
And
yeah, you could make a few bucks to pay some stuff for your studio. You know, it's never bad to be
nah,
played in an
exactly,
elevator.
man. So that's why I had to call that joint elevator, especially with the lyrics going like going down, down, down.
Yeah.
And then I had the elevator button sample in there. So, you know, it's like puts you in the time and place. Like, yo, I'm cooling in the elevator
Well,
right
now
now.
it makes sense.
So
That's so
it's one of
cool.
my favorites.
Yeah,
Heck of looks, bro.
that's a good. That's a cool story. That's actually a nice concept. You know, people you can really think of a concept and make a track based around that concept that you have. Like sample, you know, call your mom, ask her to say some words, and use those words to make a track. You know, whatever. Could be anything. You know, super cool. What are we gonna do now?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like creativity loves limitations. So I feel like honestly, I feel like when I have a title for a track, like that helps me to produce it faster because like I got a theme in mind. And one good tip that I picked up was to like use samples that kind of tie into the theme, especially with effects and stuff. So that's where I got like the elevator beeping sound and like in my track Jewels, like it's about like being flashy, like jewels on my teeth. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why I
yeah,
got
yeah,
like
yeah.
a camera flash effect in there, like you
Yeah,
know,
nice.
whatever you can do to help tell the story, like that's gonna help you out, bro. Like
I
that's
think
gonna
that's a great tip.
make it memorable, and that's just gonna make it a slapper all in all.
Yeah, just like, and also for yourself, just you had a nice idea and you worked on this idea and created something that you can listen back to and go like, oh yeah, I remember when I thought of this, or I was with that person and we were there and we came up with this. You know, it's nice. It's a time machine,
Bro,
basically. You know.
you know, literally a time machine. That's why I love music, man. Like I feel like it helps you keep track of your life in a way.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Like it
Yeah.
really takes you back to a time and place, especially when you're making it. Like opening up these project files like takes me back to like how I was feeling that day.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it was
Yeah.
like a cloudy day. I was feeling like hyped to be in the studio or whatever, man. Like you remember what was going on, and it's literally like a time machine. That's a good
Yeah,
way to
that
put it.
period you were there, you know, how you were feeling in life, just generally, and you know how you were like trying to get on a label or whatever, and then now you look back, you're like 100 tracks further. It's a really interesting vibe. Also, when I listen to music like from 10 years ago, I'm like, oh wow, I remember I just found out that I should warp my samples not on beats but on complex. I didn't even know my first releases were like the like kind of a little bit of modulation on all the chords because I warped them as beats in Ableton and you should warp them as complex, but I didn't know. So it's interesting to go back and listen to like, oh yeah, I didn't know that stuff then. You know, it's nice to
Exactly.
how you progress and how the music takes you back. There's a lot of people online here. Low House is here, and he
Low
says, really,
House.
yeah, man. And we got Groovall here. He says, I'm so
All the
tapped in,
homies
bro.
tapped in.
Yeah, man. Modest, Samani family. Greetings from Germany. What's good, Drew? Love the Samani release. Waste wisely. Nice. This is a good name. Waste.
Hey, all the homies from holding it down in the States tapping in. That's real love. Appreciate you, gang. For
Nice.
real, for real.
Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah, man, it's nice. We're actually like we're totally different parts of the world. Like it's getting late here. I think it's like it's 9 o'clock in the evening now. You guys are in the afternoon just hanging out with me, which is really cool. Appreciate everybody tuning in as well for this. And by the way, we're gonna mention it again. We're doing this remix contest for my next EP on Irish label Foundations. And check out the Lessons in Live page. And if you want to join, there's a link to the samples. And feel free to check in and hopefully have your remix on one of the remix EP. Maybe you want to do a remix as well.
Ooh,
You know,
bro.
let's
Well,
do it.
thanks for putting us on, man. Don't sleep on my boy's remix contest because if you tapped into the stream, like you got the sauce, man. Don't play. Y'all need to tap into the remix contest.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, definitely, man. It would be cool. Getting more and more. We're gonna also do like a feedback, like a session like this with all the winners, so they can show the project, which is really cool. Because I like to like have this show. Like also, obviously we had the Sydney Charles and the Josh Butlers and the guys that touring the world. But there's also everybody's making music, and we're all like a bunch of nerds making music. So let's get together and create something. So if you want to join the contest, guys, feel free to join. I would love to see the music coming from the States.
Exactly. We all nerds. Like I said, bro. music producers are just nerds that dress well and smoke weed.
I don't really smoke weed anymore, man. It makes me fucking paranoid. But you know, I love some chocolate, occasional chocolate here
Man.
and there.
To each their own, but that's just something I noticed. You feel me?
Yeah. Hey, cool,
But yeah,
man.
man. Good looks, bro.
All right,
Uh,
so what's next? This one is the Daptek 83, which is like 5 back or 4 back from the one.
exactly,
Yeah.
bro. Something like that. But this joint, it was released this year on Floor Piece, dope label, homies based in Wales. Like, got a lot of my inspirations on there. You know what I'm saying? So I was happy to get a join in with them.
Yeah.
This track is called "Feel That," which I wasn't expecting that to be like the hit of the EP, but this one definitely got the most love, like got the most DJ support, got the most streams, and got requested that I go over this one. So figure show y'all what's good with the
I
project.
think that was the
you know what
one
I'm
I
saying?
mentioned that I really liked. It was the Floor Piece release. I remember
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
label.
So
Yeah, I
good
think it
looks,
might have
man.
been the
Appreciate
same
you
track
checking
that I checked it today. I checked like lots of your tracks while I was busy trying to fix my fucking OBS, and I think that Feel That was really also one of my faves.
I appreciate
Yeah.
it, homie.
Yeah, man. Throw it on. Let me tell us something
Let's
about it,
get
how
it.
you made it.
Let's get it.
That bass line, mate.
Good look at that. Hey, so that's the gist of it right there. You got the picture.
Nice.
But yeah, man, I'm hyped that this has been like one of the favorites from the homies. You know what I'm saying? This one getting a lot of love. So appreciate everybody out there slapping it on Spotify or downloading it, whatever. Appreciate you. But yeah, man, this one's cool. You know, I feel like this one was kind of inspired by the fact that, you know, not only do people say my music sound like elevator music, but they say like it's baby making music. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of trying to play to that, like with the vocals and like just the sexy sounds overall. Like I was trying to think like, yo, what would be a good joint for the bedroom? You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy with the way it turned out, and like that's kind of the feedback I've been getting, like in like the playlist ads I've been getting, like stoked to see how it's been received overall. But
It's
yeah,
nice.
man,
It's actually the hi-hats are pretty sexy. They have like your very subtle hi-hat layers that like one comes in only sometimes really loud.
oh yeah,
It's
bro.
nice
I'm
how
happy you noticed that. Like I feel like that's honestly one of my top tips is to do like alternating hi-hats. Like you can see right here, like this joint right here, open hat one, it's not coming in on every chance. There's
yeah.
an
So sometimes
upbeat.
they're like
Like
a
yeah, I'll play the
coming
highest as a
by. Yeah.
group in itself so you can kind of hear what I'm saying. Like, and you know, like I said earlier, like I always leave a space for that extra hat, that extra sauce hat. You feel me? So honestly, I feel like that's one of the best tips I can give as far as making your percussion sound more sophisticated. I feel like if you hit that joint with the every other hat, like that's gonna add like a whole level of groove rather than being just like every upbeat, like on some tech house shit, have it every other one. And you can do that with more than just hats. You could do it with like a tam, like a shaker, every other upbeat, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
that's gonna like
tambourines,
really
even a
help to
rim
make
shot
the
sometimes.
hat groove. Yeah, bro. It adds
Yeah,
like
it's
a lot of
nice,
sauce.
but sometimes straightforward, ravey kind of hi hat. It's also nice though.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a time and place for that. Like, and sometimes the beat really be calling for that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But
but if, for the
I feel
bedroom, I think
like
this one is really nice and subtle.
yeah, good looks, man. And I
Well
feel
done.
like that's kind of helped me develop my own signature sound. Is like applying that tactic as like tastefully as I can, hitting it
Yeah,
with like the alternating hats,
yeah,
alternating shakers, like alternating tams. It just sounds really good in the high end, you know.
yeah. It's really nice, really funky and really sexy. It's well put together. Actually, people like Ruval asks, he wants to would love to understand Drew's outlook on the kick and bass relationship. Because this bass obviously is really nice. What did you use for the bass, and how does it work together with your kick? You see, you have your
Yeah,
extra kick
for
there
sure,
again.
bro. Okay, like I was saying, like I always leave room for an extra kick. So this pattern is actually pretty simple. It's got like a extra kick, which you know sometimes that extra kick can work as like a supplement to the
Bass,
bass
yeah,
line
yeah,
because
yeah,
you
yeah.
can hear this joint right here. It almost sounds like a bass.
Boom.
It's
Yeah,
like a tom type joint. You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
So it really like works well with the bass line. And bro, a lot of the times like I just be using samples for the bass and like make it my own in a way. Like I like to get like a motif from a pack and then like supplement it with my own bass. So like I'll
Yeah,
I'll take like a little riff from a pack, but then create like a response to that riff with another synth or
yeah. I
another
do the same.
sample.
Yeah,
And that's something I noticed like the top dogs be doing. They got like two basses playing off each other.
yeah,
And not only does that add like a lot of sophistication to your bass line, but like it really helps to make it more memorable. And if you are like using a pack, like it helps distinguish it.
yeah,
But you know, the same deal as far as like how I have these channels all preloaded, the same I got for the mixing board. You feel me? Like it's all the same. The colors correspond with the colors on here. So like all the
hmm
percussion is this seafoam color and all the melodics is like a purpley color and the effects is red type
yeah,
stuff. You feel
yeah,
me?
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
as far as like the bass relationship, bro, like one of the things that really took my productions to the next level is when I started using a low end bus. And I learned this tip a while back from the homie Julian Earl, who he be making fire tutorials. Like I learned a lot of sauce from him. But this was one of the best things I picked up. was just using a low end bus. So rather than the kick going to the master and the basses going to the master on their own, I got the kick and both the basses going to the low end bus. And that's gonna help it sound powerful. You feel me? It's gonna make it sound like all is one. And you can also notice like the kick here is in mono, is 100% merged, and you could do the same with a low end bus, but that's what's gonna make it like act all as one and have it be powerful in the mix. But I don't really do nothing too crazy as far as like the side chaining, like even though that is essential for the bass. I just use kickstart, bro. Like that's honestly the easiest way to do it. Got it set 100% so the bass ducks out when the kick is hitting, and it gives space for the kick to slap. But yeah, bro. I know I said like I wasn't big on third-party plugins, but one joint that I really can't recommend enough is this R bass. This should go crazy, bro. I use this on every track I make because it makes the bass like sound really well rounded, and it makes it sound like good on every speaker system. I say is like what this is good for, because you can kind of get that high end fuzz, but like get that low end bumping so it sound good like in the car and in the club. But you can kind of get that high end sizzle so you could hear it on like say a laptop or a phone speaker. But not only that, like what's that?
Do you also have max bass?
Nah, I don't know what that is.
I can never choose between R bass and max bass, both wave plugins, but they're both pretty good. I sometimes try R bass and I'm like, try max bass, and I go, okay, which one? And then I can't choose, and I'll just delete one.
Okay, that's why I don't need that, bro. I just stick with R bass, so I'm not conflicted.
Yeah, it's nice. Maybe I should stick to because max bass is also pretty nice, though. But actually, Groove was asking what plugins do you have on the low end bus. Well, this is one. And Anthony Zamoda is asking, how do you use R bass?
Okay, word up. Both good questions. Thanks for tapping in, guys. Appreciate your inquiries. But yeah, man, check it out. So on the low end bus, I got the Fruity EQ. I only use the EQ if it has the word fruity in it. And basically, I got this shape set up on the Daptek template. So no matter what track I'm making, I got it set up like this. It's like a little bump on the lowy lows and then a duck on the mud, because you can't have the mud, bro. But when you do this, like, it kind of cleans it up a little bit, cleans the shape. And you might need to tweak it a little bit, but I found that this general shape does the trick.
Similar, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And don't judge me, but I got a little bit of a sausage fattener on the low end too, bro.
Dude, it's nice.
This kind of helps bump it up.
Amazing stuff. The Endless Smiles, those are a great unit.
Yeah, bro. I use both those on every track I produce, bro. Dead ass. And I think I got the sausage fattener on the kick too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the sausage fattener and the smack attack, which these are pretty good plugins for helping your kick to stand out and sound like real clubby, real hard and punchy. Like
it gives a little extra tick, right? It's like exactly. Layering a rim shot on your kick, which is actually I never thought of using the smack attack like this. And by the way, peeps, check out Waves. I think you still have a few hours to buy the platinum bundle for $99. You get all these R bass, smack attack. I think it's still on for a few hours, and they always do this just before the Black Friday. They do an early bird Black Friday, and they have the platinum and the diamond bundle for cheaper. Diamond is like $200, I think. Platinum is $100. You pay $100, you get all these plugins. I think you get like I'm not working for them, by the way. It's not sponsored. It's just pure love. It's like $100, and you get all these plugins: R bass, Tweaktech plugin, the Playback EQs, R bass, Max bass. The C1, the panner, whatever. You get all this stuff. Check it out on Waves.
Hey, shout out Waves. And
for
a limited time, while you bring it up, you can get the Dappenum bubble. Bro, say less. The Dappenum bubble. You can hear the master sample library, the Drew Dapp sample pack, and you get the chord pack. And the only way you can get it, tap in with me, ask for the Dappenum bundle.
The Dappenum bundle.
I hit you with a discount code, bro. I'll let you get both the packs for the low. Only before Black Friday. Don't sleep. We got a timer going. You need to tap in. The Waves people go crazy on the marketing, bro. They know how to get you.
I want to get the Dappenum bundle.
Say less, bro. I'll plug you in, man. But no, for real, if you want the sample packs, like hit me up, bro. I'll get you like a special homies discount code, and you can walk away today with a fresh sample pack from your boy, Dapps. Let's go, the Daamen bundle.
That's so cool.
But hey, back to business here.
Yeah.
Man. So let me know if there's any more questions I can answer. But everything has been like a really good inquiry so far. So let me know. But otherwise, I'll just push y'all into the sauce, man.
Yeah, man, keep going. And like, let's see what he plays. Low end buzz. Low House says R bass really helps on weak kicks as well. Yeah, you know, you might want to get a better kick then, but you know, it's also if you have a weak ass kick, you can just put some R. Even like drum bus from Ableton works really well to make a weak kick pretty strong.
Yeah,
but you might want
facts.
to
And
consider.
like I feel like the FL equivalent of a drum bus, it's a fruity wave shaper. Like it's a really good saturator. I put that pretty much on like all the percussion elements.
Saturation.
When you
is
need
the
a
way
little
to go.
more,
Yeah.
little more sauce to it. Like saturation is just like that magic plugin, and you don't need nothing fancy. Like you don't need a third party plugin. A wave shaper does wonders. But yeah, man, like as you can see, like I got a lot of automation clips going on my stuff. And I feel like something that's highly slept on in house music is gain automation. Like sometimes it's the things that are like really simple that are really effective. So like on these first claps here, like you can hear the claps coming in like subtly, and it's just gain and reduction on the reverb. So like I feel like that gain automation can go a long way, like especially on hats and claps during the breakdown. Like don't be afraid to like keep it simple, you know what I'm saying? And speaking of automation clips, like this is a little secret sauce tip I have for sure. And that's to do like alternating reverb on the claps. So you can see here, I got it like alternating back and forth between like lower and higher.
Yeah, you get a dry
reverb,
one, you get a wetter one.
Yeah, like drier than wet.
Yeah.
And that kind of helps to like make a groove in itself with just the claps. Like just the claps kind of have a call and response effect. It's very subtle.
This
you
would be
really hear it.
This would be one on your dap list, you know, or your dap.
Yeah,
trick
exactly.
list, yeah.
On the go-to sauce.
Yeah.
And like I was talking about earlier, that rat shot reverb, that really goes crazy, bro. And I feel like that can help with the claps as well. So let's hear with that.
Oh, this is nice. You get like a little slap delay, a dap.
Exactly,
slap,
exactly, bro.
Yeah.
And like I have it going crazy even more like during the build-up. Like it's kind of adding some tension because there's more and more of that rat shack delay, and I feel like adding that as automation to the claps can do wonders as far as like a little subtle groove within the self, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's nice to have like sometimes it's all. I also did like a slower, a softer clap and then a louder clap and then a softer clap and then slightly, even so slightly with velocity, but just having two different like ta. It creates this little step, you know, and all these little details that you actually add are creating in the end like a very, very engaging track, which feels like, oh, it's always moving, but you never know exactly what's changing, you know?
Oh, facts, bro. I couldn't put it better myself. So yeah, man, that's just like a little tip I picked up from Keith Mills. He's a GOAT. I've learned a lot from him. Like he's a great teacher as far as being like prolific artist. You got a dope podcast too, man, but pick that one up from Keith and like never look back, because that's helped me to like really establish a little more of a signature sound in my stuff too, you feel me? But like as far as like the automations going, like here I got these love filters, which that's a dope plugin. I feel like the love filter is kind of like a poor man's Tantra, because it's got all these dope presets, and it's like it almost does like what Tantra does, but
like
not as crazy. But it works really well, and like I'll always have that ready loaded up on my template, the love filter, and like I'll automate the wetness on the groove bus. So like all the percussions are routed to this groove bus here, and I got it going through like the love filter, smack attack, the wave shaper, so it's like sounding punchy and clean and crispy, but also got the love filter going up and down during the breaks, so it kind of sounds like the percussion is getting further away during the breakdowns, And like the more juxtaposition that you can create like in the break and the drop, like the more effective it's gonna be. And you know, you don't always have to do that. Like I've heard a lot of dope tracks that kind of like keep it raw and it's still hard, but that's just like something I like to do is kind of like strip it back. And another way I do that is by automating the EQ on the hats here. Got the same thing going, just like a simple low pass filter, like bringing the claps down, and same like
Yeah.
with the gain too, like that helps to make it all sound like it's getting further away during the breakdown.
Yeah, and when the drop comes, it actually drops better
Yeah,
because then you bring back the high end on the claps and on some other sounds, and then oh, hey, it's a drop, and it
yeah,
just slightly
exactly.
changed. Like, yeah, nice,
Yeah,
nice,
bro.
man.
And then another quick tip, like, bro, I wish I had learned about this sooner, man. But one thing I've been doing to really make my vocals sound unique and spacey and weird, so like you can hear like it got a crazy effect here. Something I've been doing, which I haven't seen any other cats do, is rather than like having the clip of audio in the playlist, what I'll do is like I'll resample it. So I'll record it in Edison and then bring it into Omnisphere, which I don't know if you know about Omnisphere, but this is my baby right
Yeah,
here.
man,
Like
dude.
I literally got the box
Yeah,
like framed above me, bro. Got to
yeah,
use this in every one of my productions, like
yeah.
for
I
percussion,
recently got it
pads.
actually again because I used to have a crack, and then I didn't use it for years. And recently, somebody actually gave it to me, and I'm like forever grateful. And I've been using it like in every track I make. Yeah. So
Oh,
yeah, I'm
bro, it's so
curious to this
powerful.
one. Do you put
Eh,
it into Omnisphere? I didn't even know this is
Yeah,
possible. I've just
bro.
used the
So
presets.
like you can just start a blank patch and then here in the sample folder, you can drag anything you want as long as it's
User
a
audio.
16-bit WAV file, you can
Yeah,
drag it in right here. And I just like resample the vocals. You
and
could
then
do
use
this
the
with pretty much
effects.
any element, but it's a cool kind of hack to come up with some cool effects that you really wouldn't on your own because the effects track and on the series is so
It's super
powerful.
cool.
Like
Yeah.
there's so much
Oh,
to it,
you
and
could
there's
also
like a whole
ARP
lot
it. You
of
know. Oh,
what's
look at
that?
this. Oh, you can also. It's like a sort of guitar rig inside
No,
of.
exactly, bro. It's like the pedals
Ah,
on that John for
that's
real.
nice.
And
I'm
like
gonna
there's a
write
lot
this
of
one
cool
down.
presets, but like you can also save your own presets. So I'll drag a sample, like either be a vocal sample or like a stab, and then kind of just go crazy on these effects. And you're so used to the effects that you have in your regular channel rec that you wouldn't really come up with this on your own. And like these effects are like really high end sounding. So it really adds some cool sauce. You dig
Yeah.
me? So I like to do that with my vocals.
You can even
And
ARP it. You know, there's an
yeah,
ARP, so you can
exactly, bro.
ARP your
There's so
vocals,
much
get
potential.
crazy shit as well. Ah,
And like
nice.
speaking of the ARP, like this is what I got this Omni perk for. And I had this like preloaded in every one of my tracks. But you gotta add some crazy like funky electronic percussion. I like to
Yeah.
I like to have that as a
A
layer
little
in
bit of
every
like
single one of my
something in the
joints.
background. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it's like percussion, but it sounds like synthetic in a way. And this simple, like you see, it's just one MIDI, one note like drawn out for the 4 bars or whatever. And the way that that was achieved was in Omnisphere, like you noted, bro, the art. So I just
yeah.
kind of like pull up some preset for arpeggio, just
Yeah,
go crazy, like start clicking these buttons. And I found like the shorter the length, the more sexy, more minimal it sounds. And
yeah,
like you
yeah,
can add some swing and like effects to it too.
yeah. It's just
And
a really cool
there's
way of
yeah, bro,
creating like this
like there's a
background
whole
percussion
folder.
stuff. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's
Exactly, electro perks. And like I like to add one of these joints and make a cool arpeggio, or you can even make your own from scratch because like it basically is just formed from a waveform.
yeah,
So you can make your own from scratch, but like I feel like that's an element that a lot of beginners miss in their tracks is having some kind of synthetic like electro perk that plays off the more traditional organic bongos and snares and stuff.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
this adds such a sophisticated layer and really makes it
And
sound like
this is the shit you
minimal
normally use
detect.
to get out of your Electron machine drum. You know.
Exactly. So,
Yeah,
and not saying that you have to use Omnisphere because like you can use some stock plugins
Yeah,
to create
I
the
think
same
CP
exact
Charles
thing. But
showed one that he used. I think just a normal sampler, and I think it was Sydney. I'm not sure. And he like just like arping some percussion, and then have that in the background. Slap on some effects and see what you get. And sometimes it's also good to just fuck around. I don't know if you've seen this video recently. The more you fuck around, the more you find out. This guy, it's like a YouTube video. If you watch this,
I've seen that meme.
yeah, this guy is so funny. And he's like, yeah, so basically, the more you fuck around, the more you find out. And it's true. Sometimes you're just gonna slap on some audio effects on some percussion thing and see what you get. And before you know it, you can resample it, and you have a really great background sound. Or chuck some shit through a tantra and then record that and put that in. You never know what you're gonna get, and it's fun. And I think these sort of adventures keep making music also fun, instead of just I need to make a track. Just to have fun, just try some shit and see whatever you get. That's a lot of fun.
Bro, I love that you applied that philosophy to music. I never put it like that. The more you fuck around, the more you find out. You're not wrong at all, my boy. I like it.
Everything, man.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's why I love Honest Theory, because like it's honestly like a little overwhelming when you first get it, but it's got like a star system, so you can save it or like star it for later. And like I can't recommend that enough for all of your synths. It's like if you really like a sound, like rate it 5 stars or save it so you can come back to it later. And like not only is that gonna like shorten your workflow time, but it's gonna help you develop a signature sound when you got like a certain preset that you mess with heavy.
I have another one for you. I always say, if I would be a handyman, right, and your bathroom there's like a leak somewhere, and I get there, I go like, oh yeah, it's the bathtub, yeah. But then, okay, can you fix it? No, I have to go home, grab my toolbox. Why didn't you bring your toolbox? So every time you should bring your toolbox, and all your tools should be nicely organized. You can work fast, you can make more money. And when it comes to music, you want to make music, so make sure you settle everything, you have everything ready to make music, so you can actually get to it and be creative and have fun, instead of looking for the right sound to get all out of the flow. Because if you know that in this synth I've got shitloads of good bass lines, you know where to find your bass lines. I think that's super important. It's really inspiring how you have all the structure. I've a very similar approach to being very structured. I like that.
For sure, man. Good looking. And I honestly, like, I attribute the process to like how prolific I am today. Like if it wasn't for the process, then like I wouldn't be making nearly as much music. So I'm really glad that like I discovered the importance of having a routine. And like outside of the technical stuff, like I really just love getting in the studio every morning. Like I set aside that time every morning, like from 8 to 10, like I'm just in the studio before I check any messages or anything. Like I'm just in the lab working before anybody like got me stressed out, or I don't have to worry about nothing. Like I haven't seen the news. Like I feel like if you can create in a state of bliss, like where you don't know like what's going on in the world, like
dude,
that's gonna help you out.
That's the nail on the head, as they say. Because I did this summer, I think in July. And but then I had to leave for travels a lot, and I'm planning to stay home now. But that was such a good time. We'd get up at 6 or 7, make music until 9 or 10ish. And it was great. I had so many ideas, so many like good loops that I made. And also sometimes a whole track came out, And sometimes it's a struggle, but sometimes you can just work on your library. So it's not a lost day. You don't have to make a track. But if you do something every day, you feel more confident in making music. You're actually making more music, and you're actually showing up. So it's a really good point, man. I'm going to actually do this in December. Another one. I'm going to do a 30-day consistency challenge in December. Make something every day. So what you do every morning for like 2 hours, try to make something. If you have a job or whatnot, try to do 1 hour, a half hour. Every little bit you can do daily, it's going to help build the routine and help you build the confidence to make music. If music is your dream, to live off your music, then better start making music. If you want to run a marathon next year, you better start running. It's the same thing. Let's go for it.
Oh, facts, my dude. Like, it's way better to get a little bit of time in every day rather than saying like, oh, I'm going to put in 4 hours this weekend or whatever. Like, it's way better to do like 30 minutes a day than saving a big chunk for one day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
definitely. Nice, man. Let's with great wisdom here, guys. I'm happy everybody tunes in. We still have some people online, which is really nice. Yeah, brain fire is a lot better in the AM. Less thought, more feeling. Exactly, man. Also, because also your mind, what you say, you haven't watched the news, you haven't checked any messages, nothing could stress you out. It's really good to not check your phone in the morning. I often also like, like check, and then you're checking it, and then suddenly you're answering emails, you're answering Instagram messages. You're like, why am I doing this? I haven't even had a coffee. What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, bro.
Yeah, I think this is good. I'm gonna incorporate that as soon as I can. I'm happy to have my own house and just have my own studio again. So, man, I'm gonna be joining you in that routine.
If I can add one little thing,
of course.
Same with working in the morning, like you're fresh out of bed, fresh out of your slumber. So I feel like you get a chance to tap into that quasi dream state. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of think in a way that's it's almost like a cheat code because you're still in that dream state in a way. So that can help you dreams. Finesse some creativity out of it. You dig me?
That's true, man. If you get up, like in my previous house, I had my my studio in my bedroom because it was a rental place, and I just got up out of bed, sat down, and like butt naked, making some beats in the morning, and it's interesting. But sometimes I also had because my mind was so like ooh, that I couldn't really focus or get something. But if you get into that flow state, you might create something super creative, which is interesting. Nice. Okay, one more question for you before we go to blind date, and then we're gonna wrap it up. It's what do you do when you get stuck on a loop and can't find the idea?
Yo, that's a good question. I feel like it's kind of counterintuitive, but I found like, if I ever get to a point where I'm working on a track and I feel like frustrated, like where it almost gets you mad, like I feel like that's a sign you need to put it down for a little bit. Because I don't ever want to feel like I'm frustrated or mad when I'm working on tunes. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, I'll probably just like close the laptop for a little bit and like go clean the house or something like that. Because in a weird way, I feel like when you're doing something else that's like your mind on autopilot, like you out like walking the dog or something, like I feel like that's when the ideas come to you in a way.
Go for a walk, man.
If I go clean the kitchen or something like that, I feel like when I'm cleaning up, like that's when the ideas come into my head because I'm not like banging my head against the wall trying to figure something out. Like the ideas just kind of creep in, bro.
It's
in
the
a
same
way.
thing when you feel frustrated in any case in life, or sometimes you just have a bad day, or you feel like you're having a bad day. It's not a bad day, but then you go for a walk and you go like, oh, suddenly you have like, oh, well, you know what, I can do this. But what walking is really good for your brain and for your mental state. So and like what noise that dude he says, work on something new, also possible. Yeah. All right, one more. Grooval says, would love to see your go-to plugin for bass and how you work with shakers.
Yeah. Should we get into that right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go for it.
All right, say less, bro. So I'm happy you asked about the shakers, my dude, because I feel like I got some secret sauce when it comes to the shakers. So one thing I like to do is have like a synthetic shaker that's layered with a live shaker. And I might not do that every track, but like peep game right here. You see how this shaker is just one straight MIDI clip?
Yeah.
There's the 4 bars. So it's the same way that I approach the synthetic electro perk. This is actually just like a dynamic noise hat. So I just set up an arpeggio, finesse that from scratch to make a sort of shaker sound. So I'll let y'all hear that. So that's literally just like created from
an ARP.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just pretty much like white noise. So like I'll have some kind
with
of
a little
synthetic...
bit of an open attack maybe on the
Yeah, exactly, bro. So I have like a arpeggiated synthetic shaker, like, and I just love Omnisphere. So I'll make something from Omnisphere every time, and it's easy to make it sound different every time with that arpeggio thing. And then I'll layer it with the more organic, realistic shaker sound. Like, so that's probably what this joint is right here. Yeah, it got like this tambourine thing. And one thing I like to do with like the shakers too is add a phaser. So it's kind of moving and modulating. So here you can see like on this downbeat shaker, I got the phaser on that joint set to like half. So it's not too oppressive, but it's working in the sauce. You know what I'm saying? And when you got the organic kind of shaker sound layer with the synthetic shaker, like that adds a lot of flair to your beat.
Yeah, yeah, it's like a little bit of phasing, flanging, a little bit of movement creates a lot of, movement in your highs, which is cool, subtle, and it makes your track a bit more interesting again. And what about this bass? Because I also this bass in this track is ridiculous. What's the
Oh yeah,
bass?
bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. For this one, like I just apply my philosophy. Like
Oh,
I
like
got
puzzling your way
yeah, I got a
through. Yeah,
loop
yeah,
that like
yeah,
I chopped up and to make it my own in a way, and not only chop it up to like have it play off like the extra kicks and stuff,
yeah,
but like on my bass, like I'll hit it with the R bass mono that kind of gives it your own sound as well. Like I feel like that can make a bass that you grab from a sample pack and make it sound like unique in a way. You know what I'm
yeah. The
saying?
same when I sometimes have like a little bass pattern that I played, and I'm like, I need something more. Then I just drag in some loops from Sample Market, whatever, some sample packs with some bass loops, and I try to, if it's in a different key, I'll transpose it to the key of my track, and then I'll just start like taking little bits and putting them in places where the other bass is not playing, so they're basically bouncing off on each other. You get like super, sometimes I get like, wow, this is really nice bass, and it's actually three different basses, one that I play myself, one from a pack and one from a pack, but then little snippets from it, here and there, and that creates a
Exactly.
sort of like a conversation between three bass dudes, which is nice. And
Bass dude.
sometimes you get a super nice sort of like thing going on. And for me, that way, by puzzling your way through, sometimes helps you get further, because sometimes it can be really hard finding that bass and playing in the different sound. You play a different sound, you can't get the right sound, you can't get the right pattern. Just drop in some loops and start puzzling, which is fun also. It keeps the mind busy.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, that's a
Exactly.
cool one. Yeah, nice. And do you have any favorite bass plugins for when you do play like a nice bass? You have any? Where's your favorite bass? Do you use Subboom bass
Yeah,
maybe? Or
bro. So like as of lately, I feel like what I've been doing is getting these bass hits and dragging that into like the
samplers? Yeah.
fruity granulizer and kind of just making a bass line from like a bass hit. Like
Cool.
because I'm not too big on sound design, and I personally feel like if you go crazy on sound design, like that can kind of take away from your writing in a way. So like I kind of just am low key on the sound design. So I really like using samples, like whether it be like hits or like little chops of a motif.
Yeah.
But I do use Serum if I am like synthesizing my own bass from scratch, and like I've had some good ones that I've made in Serum and just saved them.
Yeah.
So like it's my own preset, and that's the bass I'll use.
Yeah.
And I probably got like two or three that I made in Serum that like work well, and that's what I got, bro. I don't really
Cool.
go too crazy on like creating my own basses or synthesizing too much. I mean, I do like using filters and stuff to shape a sound,
Yeah.
but as far as like the waves and stuff, like I'm pretty low key about that.
Yeah, yeah. It's always good to take up some sound design at some point. It's nice to, but it is, what's a good exercise is making one track with one synth. So take Serum, make the kick, the clap, the hats, the everything with one synth. It's going to really, if you do that twice or three times, it's going to really boost your whole everything. It's just a way to make something sound good, just using one synth for all the sounds. It's really interesting. And you start making like some crazy melodic techno or some crazy,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just, it's hard to make house with only one synth because house is such a sample based thing. But you can get to like more electronic stuff, which I find pretty interesting. Hey, we got Nora Q online. Good evening, bass dudes. He says, "What's up, bass guy?" And
What's on it?
we got Steve says Drew Slang makes his voice a perfect vocal source to use. Definitely, I was already thinking while he was chatting, I was like, somebody needs to sample this stream, man. I actually for vocals I stream like I sample like podcasts, like Resident Advisor podcast is nice. You get this interview with these
Yeah.
classic house dudes. And you save some of their, record some of their words, or like you do what is it? This electronic what's his T-Mobile? What is his electronic groove I don't know. They have this like all these interviews and stuff, like interviews and just podcasts. It's great to take some spoken word stuff. You know, I really like that. All right, thanks, Drew and Camiel. So many good tips. Glad you like it, Grooval. Thanks for tuning in. And let's play a blind date, and after that we'll round up the chat. So we're gonna go to blind date, and we'll see you back in a sec. Nice one, bro.
Fresh.
Thank you so much for sharing all your knowledge. You know, if we were here, I would say a round of applause for Drew for sharing all this stuff. Thanks so much. Yeah, so usually before I call it a night, I always ask the people on the show, like, do you have anything to plug? Is there anything coming out? Is there just anything you want to plug, even though we've been plugging it the whole session? But, you know, what can we expect, and what are your plans, and what do you want to say to the people?
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, I just want to say a round of applause to you, bro. For real, round of applause to everybody that tapped in, man. Really appreciate the love. Super hyped to see, like, the questions and the comments. Good looks for tapping in, for real, famo. But yeah, man, as far as the plugs, man, you know, I stay plugging the joint that we just listened to, Blind Date. That's going to be my debut on Hungarian Hot Wax. So been a big fan of that label for a minute. Stoked to get a joint in with them.
Nice.
It's going to be releasing everywhere on the 18th of this month, November. So be on the lookout for your release radar, or tap in on Spotify. Hit me with a follow so you get that joint. But, bro, like, I was serious about the Dappen bundle. Like, hit me up if you want some tunes. Like, I'll plug you in. Hit me up if you want sample packs. Like, we'll make sure that you get taken care of, bro.
Yeah,
for real.
check
Like,
DrewDapps.com,
it's all love.
no? DrewDapps.com.
Yeah, man. But besides that, like you said, bro, you know, we got the merch coming, man. I got some goodies on the way. We got some fits for the winter time. We got some accessories, some fresh stuff. Like, and let's just say your boy might taking up sewing as like a part-time hobby. So we got something special coming, bro.
Yeah, cool. If I'm going to be around at the West Coast, I'll definitely hit you up, and would love to meet you in 3D and get one of those sweaters, you know. Or
Dude, the bass
nice
dudes
bag.
reunite 3D.
Yeah.
Let's go, man.
3D,
you already know. And likewise, it's only a matter of time till I get out there to Europe, bro. So I know you just moved to Valencia, but I'm trying to do the world tour, man. You already know it's gonna go down.
If you're
So
close,
we'll
let
be
me
in
know.
touch.
Yeah, man, we'll do a little studio session, and I can show you a little bit of Ableton. You show me a little bit of
Say
Fruity
less.
Loops. Cool,
I like to
man.
get the homies fruity, man. What can I say?
Yeah, yes. You got a whole crew here online. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week. I think Timmy P is coming next week. That's nice. The week after, I'm offline for a bit. I'm doing some lessons on the Wednesdays. But I think end of the month, there will be also Wazoo, my friend from New York. So, and there's more coming. I've been working on some dudes you're going to love. So stay tuned. And thanks for tuning in. Glad to be back. And thanks, Drew. Later.
Thank you, fam.